Okay, play. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tone Monkeys are feasting high in the tone treetops today. Mr. Jeff, Mr. Jeff Hime.
Hello.
This is his monster that he's created. Hime Amplification, playing through a great 1957 Stratocaster from our wonderful friends at Gruen Guitars here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm holding a wonderful 63 335, also from the wonderful gentleman at Gruen's Guitars. Eric, George, Greg, everybody, thank you so much for allowing us to experience these wonderful sabers of tone.
Yes. Yes.
Unbelievable, really. But Jeff, I've been around the Marshall thing, and they're close to my heart. I've had the purples and all that stuff back in the day, as we all did, right? And I'm such a Marshall guy that when anybody steps up to me and says, you know what, I do my Marshall thing. I got a mod, I got a thing, I make my own thing, and I go, okay, well, lunch. That's right. Yeah, I'm typically that guy. Mm-hmm. This has absolutely turned my head because it's everything great about the old plexis and the metal faces and all the old Marshalls but any better? I'm thinking maybe better. I like this. It just has more presence. It has more adaptability. It seems fantastic. You have to walk us through your Tone Monkey mind.
Okay. It's a scary place.
It's a scary place, littered with tone skeletons.
I like to call them failures.
Yeah,
Tone failures.
Tone failures. But where do you go with this? I mean, you're obviously such a Marshall guy from every level. Talk to us a little bit about how you derived this application through these guitars to get that tone that we're hearing, because it truly is, guys, especially when you're here live in the room with this through this cabinet, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just everything that you want to feel and hear coming through this head. So my hat's off to the master, Jeff.
Well,
this is fantastic. Walk us through it. I mean,
well, I tried everything that I like about a Marshall. I try to put in one, and some stuff spills out. But anyway, though, the main thing is we're at a really low volume right here.
Right.
And everybody always told me, they were like, I can't have a 100-watt Marshall. I can't play that in my bedroom. My wife would kill me.
Yeah.
And so a couple of things that I do differently. The great thing about Marshalls is everybody has their own interpretation.
Yeah.
There's a guy in New York that does this thing, and then there's, of course, the Jose Marshalls for Eddie Van Halen. There's Mark Cameron. He has his thing that he does, which is great too.
You bet.
I mean,
You bet.
everybody has a thing, and it's great. I'm a fan of all of that stuff. Usually, whenever somebody will get like a metal panel, nice Marshall from the 70s, and they're like, it's too bright. So, but this channel is a little too dark, and so you jumper them together, and that's traditionally how they did it. They would jumper them together, and then that sort of makes it sort of in the range of the guitar, in the neck.
There. Place of the neck,
Yeah, that's an easy adjustment, but you get into the later 70s where they sort of they start like cascading the gain stages.
Yeah.
And so one of the things about this amp is there's a higher input and a lower input. I never go to the lower input because why would you do that?
Seriously, listen. I just bought a Ferrari, and we're going to use like the first 2 gears.
Yeah. I'm
We're
going
gonna
to drive
stop
around
there.
it first.
Let's stop there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't even know if that works. I don't care.
You could just disconnect it.
I could just take the.
This could be a pencil sharpener.
I could just take that jack right out because I don't use it. I don't even recognize it. But it's dead to me.
Yeah.
So
irrelevant.
Yeah. But the thing, the big great thing about a Marshall is it has this big, huge push power.
Yeah.
Like you really, even if it's not like killing your ears, you can still feel it like moving your pants.
Yeah.
And so one of the things about a Marshall is it has a cathode follower, which is a current amplifier. And that sort of gives it its front end like, ugh.
That's where the
power.
front end comes from. From that definition. Okay.
It's everything, but it's also, that's a lot of its push power.
Got it.
And then you've got big transformers, tubes, you
Right.
know. The magic really is in between the tubes and the output transformer.
Got it. Yeah.
So, I actually put in, I have to make a plug to him. He doesn't care, I'm sure. But anyway, though, Chris Marin makes output transformers for Marshalls, and they feel great.
Feel like the old drinks and all the old stuff. Yeah.
And so I just love what he does with transformers.
Wow.
The power transformer I never found really made any difference, really.
Okay.
I mean,
because that's where a lot of things you always see the amps for sale. Does it have the original trannies? Does it have the da 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 da?
Right.
So from a tone perspective, maybe not as important as we've been hyped to believe in the past.
in my opinion, no. The sometimes if you get one that's a little bit out of spec,
Right.
it kind of lends itself to the amp.
Oh,
And so,
okay.
sometimes the cheaper iron just sounds great and feels great for whatever
Sweet.
reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes the more expensive transformers, they're a little too perfect. And
Right. Too pristine.
yes, I'm not a perfectionist.
No.
It's,
No. Music isn't perfection. Music can't be a perfection. It's an art. So I think adapting that thought process as you have about attaching some spontaneity and what the hell's going on with this, that creates more of a musicality to an amp like this.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
And-
okay.
I mean, I'm, you know, that Marshall sound, and I said this the last time I was here, when you hear it, you know it. Because you've heard it on records.
Absolutely.
And it's just like the Marshall just has that thing.
Yeah.
And so I love the fact that everybody's got their own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
I love that everybody is, you know, well, I have my thing that I do here. And every time I mention to somebody, oh, I'm a Marshall guy, they're like, well, I take the cap off of the volume pot. Or they, you know, everybody's got
Right.
that. And that's fine, you can do that. But if you take it off, it takes away some of the gain. So
Right.
you got to add it in a different spot.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
there's not much to the just breakdown Marshall circuit, but I feel like if you can get it to the point where it's voiced right here and
Yeah.
then you've got rock and roll hitting you, then, you know, you've got a great Marshall.
Again, that's why it's so important. I mean, anybody watching this program is probably way into what we're talking about as far as tone and applications. When you find someone like Jeff that can take that spirit and that soul and actually attach musicality to it and tune it to who you are and how you play, that's killer. That's how you come up with something like this that's your one and done kind of a head for this type of application. And that's so incredibly important because what we really want to do is we really want to play. I don't want to sit and go through 50 heads and go, nope, that's not quite it. You know, that thing, and make all that brain damage happen.
Right.
That's why coming to you is so imperative. I really appreciate that in so many ways.
Well, you know, I usually get them there. I try to get them there. But anyone that plays these things, it's like you plug into it and you just know. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that it's sort of this weird, I talked about this last time, there's this weird connection between your ears, your brain, and your fingers.
Absolutely.
And you just,
Yeah.
when it all kind of sinks in together, it's sort of
You know it. Like, we were playing a little bit before we went on today, guys. And I mean, you just know it. When you plugged in and played that one, you could feel it. And when I plugged in this one, and I did not expect to hear what I heard from this guitar mated with this head. Fantastic. We'll play some more of that in a minute here. But, I mean, it just is a magnificent, again, a synergy. Let's start using that word.
Whoa.
Our synergistic tonal qualities. Hold on, take a breath. You know,
Ugh.
I mean, it makes a big difference. And also, we have to remind everyone, we're using some mics here in front of the cabinets today that are just phenomenal. This mic right here, ribbons are some of my favorites because they just seem to be more organic in how they deliver things. You know,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And we have the Stager microphone here. It's a ribbon microphone made here locally, Stager. A microphone here that I think is phenomenal for making an accurate, transparent, organic replication of the sound that's actually coming out of the cabinet. Wow, that's a lot of words together. You know. Okay.
And they also make their own transformers, which
Indeed.
is impressive.
Yeah, which takes absolute knowledge of what's going on. So we thank him so much for allowing us to use these today, because it does make a difference in what you're hearing through the production. So thank you so much, Mr. Stager.
Nice work.
Nice work, and we shall buy copious beers post haste. But fantastic, and it looks great.
Yes.
I mean, right? I mean, come on. Cosmetics are important, and it makes it look fantastic. I've had some of the old RCAs back in the day, and this is fantastic. I love that. Just love that. So thank you very much for that.
Very cool.
We dig ours, but let's get back to the head for just a second. I think I'm just going to have you play a little bit, Jeff, as far as going some volume down, volume up stuff, just on the guitar, just controlling the volume with the guitar to show how this cleans up so well.
I'll tell you this. I'll
Man.
have you play, and I want to show you something.
Okay. All right.
This is Crazy Hime here.
Crazy Hime time.
Getting weird.
Okay, let's get weird.
So now the thing that I did here, one of my favorite things, I hate master volumes. They're
as
so
we all
awful.
do.
You turn down the master volume and it cuts the legs of the amp off. It's not
it's gone.
big. Yeah, it's just boop. Now we are very low here, so there probably people are like, well, that's not huge. But yes, what I do is, and this is not my invention, but I put the master volume in front of the tone stack. That way you still have control.
In front of the stack. Okay,
yes.
got it. Okay.
Usually people put them at the power amp, and then you turn it down and everything gets very anemic.
Right.
And
right.
I hate that, and it's like, why would you even do that?
That doesn't work.
So I like to have it in front, so I got some control of my EQ. I can do whatever I want with the feedback and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you can actually get closer to like a tweed amp with this, with just
Nice.
that like pretty broken
Yeah.
glass mid-range all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So again, not my invention, but that's a good way of doing it.
Absolutely. A better application of that particular principle.
Exactly. And I like good applications.
Oh, don't we all? Seriously. Well, we won't go there. All right.
But, so that's sort of the deal with this. Now, I'll have you, let me clean it up here.
Okay.
Traditionally, you turn the master volume all the way up, and you turn your front end gain down, and it cleans it up.
Right.
Of course. Or sort of.
Very smooth.
Yeah.
Absolutely very smooth.
Very glassy.
And also notice how quiet it is. It's just... I mean, that's an extremely quiet amp. I mean, and it just feels really nice in front of the amp. With the head just projects those cleans so well.
You can play a jazz gig with this, and you can also go and play a heavy metal rock thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so you can do anything with a Marshall. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, but I keep telling people, I'm like, you can do whatever you want with a Marshall.
Absolutely.
And so, and this is a Marshall copy, like I say, but it's just like, it's so great.
I mean, it just has that.
Very warm. Yeah. It makes your ears feel good.
Absolutely, yeah. It just has that vibe about it. You know, you just want to keep playing.
Yes.
And I think that's what we look for. We look for that secret that wants us to keep playing, because I guarantee, if you want to keep playing, people want to keep listening. I mean, that's kind of where that whole thing starts to happen. The magic starts to happen, is that between the player and the listener, it's synergistic as far as back and forth. You give, you receive, you give or you receive, and that's what an amp like this, I think, can help transmit in a very effective manner.
Yes.
Wow.
Don't throw away your old Marshalls.
No,
Don't do it.
Bring them over here.
Yeah.
Bring them over here.
To me.
bring them to me, he says.
I've always said, though, that Marshalls are both good and bad for your playing. Because whenever you play a Marshall, yeah, you're playing better if it's really dialed in there and it's great and you like it. But at the same time, you just want to hear chords.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah,
You don't want to play licks all the time.
I mean, when you let it ring out, I'll play just a little bit here. But
fantastic. That it feels so good when you do that. It makes your ears feel good. Everything
does.
about it, and it really, in my opinion, it always brings out a better performance out of anybody.
There's no question about it. I think we've all been on stages before, or at studios, or at home, where you're just not getting the sound, the feel, whatever it is, and you just kind of, you put the guitar away, and to find that real instrument that allows you and propels you, and maybe it's compelling at that point to play more, to dig deeper and find that place that brings that magic.
Yes.
Tone monkey magic.
Tone monkey magic.
There we are. Come on.
Wow.
Tone monkey magic.
This is big stuff that we're coming up with right here.
TMM.
Boom.
T-shirts. TMM.
Let me show you this other thing.
Yeah,
that
please.
is super weird. Okay, so give me some. Let me turn this. Let me gain you out a little bit. All right,
Okay.
give me some rockin' stuff.
I mean, we could talk while I was playing. Really,
Okay.
we could almost talk a little bit.
Yes.
But it sounded just.
What I put the distortion pedal on the inside of the amp.
Okay.
So this is a push-pull knob. But the thing that I love about this circuit, you remember back in the 80s you had the diode clipping circuits in the JCM 800s.
You bet.
And sometimes they were a little like...
little rattly, little.
But
yeah.
with this one, you play me just like a G, or a nice... It's the more you play it, the more it clamps down on it.
Ah, okay.
So as you ease back, I mean, you could almost make that clean as you ease back. It's very dynamic, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. Let me play again here real quick.
See, I love that. I love that it's like, it plays along with you.
Absolutely does.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, when you're sitting here in front of the cabinet, guys, I mean, it's one of those things where you can really feel that dynamic potential. They're just backing off on the pick pressure, the hand pressure, and it just chimes in. Let me do that again real quick while we're talking about that.
close to the Eddie thing. I can't believe he said
Eddie.
that.
Ooh,
Yeah, I better be careful.
Eddie.
They're gonna beat me up in the parking lot.
Exactly.
But it gets very close to that kind of brown sound, as they call
Absolutely,
it. So.
and it's just so controllable with hand pressure. I mean, and I wasn't fiddling with knobs. I wasn't doing anything else. I'm just playing with hands. And
Yeah, no pedals.
no pedal. We're clean.
We're clean.
No
clean.
boots. No nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing up my boots. Yeah, so it's all right in here and right in your hands, and we're just going straight through. And I mean, it's just amazing to have feel and presence in a head like this. I mean, this is something I've been looking for this type of application for a really long time. Something that I can just, have at the house, have in the studio, have on the road, whatever it is. And I got one and done.
Yeah, and you're ready to go.
You
got the Marshall thing.
Yeah, got the Marshall thing covered.
Yeah.
I mean, last time you were nice enough to bring your Champ thing in, and I will be bringing you some tweets to get your magic done on.
Please do.
But I mean, with that combination, I mean, can you imagine just having a live where it's just A, B, or you got your 2 amps on, and you're done.
Right.
I mean, there we are. I mean,
the only problem is they're not light. They are heavy.
Well, yeah. I mean, but there we are.
Yeah. But the
But also, your
Transformers-
tone's pretty heavy as well. I mean,
Exactly.
It does take some of that beef to bring it forward. So this isn't your grab and go.
That's true.
Right. This is your call a couple of buddies and grab and go.
Yeah. But I mean, and we can go up to full tilt boogie, and it's like super loud. We can play a stadium, or we
Yeah.
can play in our,
I mean, this is really a doable volume level, guys. I mean, I'm not the guy that likes to bust my ears open. That's been done for too many years. But this one does have the presence. It has the density that you're looking for. And another thing, all cheating aside here, 2 guitars like this do make a difference. And again, thank you, Bruins, for allowing us to do this, because these 2 guitars do something pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
You gotta have a good guitar, which I can't help you with that.
Yeah.
But
But there we go. But I'm telling you guys, this is just a home run for me, being a total Marshall fanatic for so many years. This really speaks to me. So put me on the list. Jeff.
Done.
Seriously.
Done.
I mean that's just one thing that has to happen, because you got to have this in your tone arsenal. And there's nothing else that really does it. There are some great guys out there kind of doing their thing. There's no question about it. We've all played the different heads around, but this is the first one that I've actually felt that's as musical as I need it to be. As soon as I plugged this PAF rig through that, there was musicality.
yeah.
It wasn't just pushing something at me. It was allowing me to be in the middle of it. And that's where the musicality comes from. And it felt the same with that Strat too, which sometimes is very difficult with a Strat to do. And it really seemed to mate up with that very nicely.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, there we go. And again, I'm going to flip it on a little bit here and play just a little bit in the neck pickup here to give you an idea.
Here, I'll knock this off and
Yeah.
we can... That is such a beefy guitar. Excellent.
Yeah, but man, come on. I mean, we were talking a while back too about, okay, is it the more the guitar, is it the amp, or whatever it is?
It's a combination.
It's a combination. It's the synergy, but man, sometimes that amp has just got to be just right. Makes a big difference, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really a fantastic combination with the two of them. I mean, and just to have the ability to just go bonk and pop that out. Now, within your modifications, I would assume that I could probably ask you to put a foot switch in there that would allow me to do that right
Sure.
here
Yeah.
in front of the amp, and that type of thing. I mean, that's just really
I have done everything with these things.
everything.
Everything. My I've put the input jacks, people always jumpered them.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you can internally jumper them across the tube.
Okay.
I've done that stuff. I put it on a switch one time where you could go just straight in, you could gang them, or you could put them in series. I've done that before, and with mixed results. It's okay.
Right.
But man, I really like cascaded gain. I like being able to dial it back.
Absolutely.
It's just a simpler kind of deal. And I've also... and again, this is not my invention. I don't want people to think, oh, you just came up with all of this. I've just pulled my hair out doing everything to a Marshall. My Super Tremolo, I put that, it's got some switches in the back where you can go two are triode instead of pentode,
Sure.
and you can make them all cathode biased as well. So you can go from 100 watts to 70 watts to like 25 watts.
Wow.
And so, and that mixed results, the only problem with that is you got to go to standby because you're switching high voltage, and you have to redo everything whenever you go to a different, so you can't really put that on a foot switch.
No.
But I've done everything with these things just to get whatever you can get out of them.
Absolutely.
And, I know country guys that play these things. I know one steel guitar player that actually doesn't have a twin. He has a Marshall. And he sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I do say so myself.
Yes. Hello.
And but yeah, just everything. The rock guys, the country guys, the jazz guys kind of stay away from Marshalls because they see that and they go, "Whoa, that's not what I need." But as you can tell, you can just do anything with these things.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm such a fan.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be. I mean, it's just wonderful to see a gentleman like yourself, a tone genius, come to our rescue.
I don't know that I'm a gentleman.
Come to our rescue. Because we're beating our heads up and going, what am I doing? It really comes down to the inspiration of finding this, combining with your hands, you got to play, combining with a certain guitar that just makes you feel at home. Because, man, this thing takes you the rest of the way home. I'm really just thoroughly impressed with what you've done.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, come on. I mean, it's just monster. Let's give him some grind. Give me some grind on this thing, man.
Do you want? Super fun.
Huh. There we are. Just with a little boink. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds so real, so just right there, man. I'm just so happy with that. It's just, I mean, you got to call this guy. I mean, I've went through enough brain damage over the years through all the heads and trying to do things myself. Boy, that was a big mistake. Yeah.
Every time somebody tells me, they're like, well, I don't really like Marshalls, I don't believe them. Yeah. I just say, oh, you never heard one or something. I just make up a story. They're confused. They're thinking of a different amp.
Exactly.
So,
no, back to the beginning of the Marshall, the whole thing was based, the story of the lore is, that he is actually taking a Bassman, as we have over there, from 57, 58, whatever it was, and he based his original concepts of his circuitry on the Bassman circuitry. Is that true or not?
It's true, but he used English tubes.
Right.
So instead of these originally came with either 6L6s or 5881s.
Correct.
They put in EL34s, which is, the Mullard EL34 made in England deal.
Yeah.
And you have heard that sound before.
Yeah. You felt that sound before.
Yes. Yeah. It's very familiar to you.
Yeah.
But he put the English tubes in there, and forgot the guy's name, but it was a guy at Marshall,
Hmm.
and I don't think anyone knows whatever happened to that guy, but
Ooh,
Yeah.
Susan Roebuck story here.
mystery.
He just seemed to wander off one evening, mate.
Yeah, right. We don't know what
Wandered
happened
into
to
the Thames.
him. Right. He was deaf.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's true. It's pretty close to that circuit, only with English power tubes.
Right, got it. Okay.
And the difference between the English, just for your own whatever, Fender has sort of that American kind of highs and lows,
Yeah.
kind of close to the Ventures, things like that. That's the very American sound. Whereas the really pretty broken glass, mid-rangey, rock and roll-y kind of a thing really is more of a British tone.
yeah.
Or that's where it started.
Right.
And
right,
so
right.
I just know that sound. I mean,
yeah, I mean, there it is.
yeah.
Yeah, we all become fans of it from hearing things back in the day that you just went, wow, man, that's just great. The old Deep Purple thing.
Yes.
And all that kind of stuff that just went, no, what are you kidding me? Smoke on the what?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what really drew us in, was that tonality, at least for me, for the rock and roll thing. I mean, come on, that's where it really started to really live with me. So,
Yeah.
man, phenomenal, buddy. Phenomenal. Jeff Hime, I mean, I haven't been, impressed with somebody doing their own take on the Marshall ever as much as this, and I just have to congratulate you.
Well, thank you.
On your accomplishments here, because it really is stunning for us that really like to play and be inspired by what we play.
That's
Fantastic.
what it's all about.
Absolutely. And I also have to thank our guys today, Mr. Steger. Great mics. The wonderful people at Groon's Guitars. Thank you, George. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everybody over there. These are just ridiculously great guitars.
Thank you for giving this to me, too. Thank you.
Exactly. We'll be on the Southwest flight to...
Tell them the wrong
Oh,
direction.
yeah, we're going east, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just going to play a little bit more. I'm going to play a little bit on this, the humbucker,
Yeah.
a little bit. We'll stop, and I'm going to have Jeff play us out on the single coils to give us a little kind of a tone on the single coil, because it just sounds glorious with both. That's why I brought both today, was to have a single coil and a humbucker, and I'm so glad I did, because man, they are just off the charts on both levels. So
Yeah,
let's
screaming guitars.
let's play a little PAF here, and then we'll go to single coils. And everybody, thanks for watching, man. We have a great time doing this, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nice. Single coil time. Leave the mic alone.
We probably turned it off now.
Bye.